No, I think we've taken positive steps forward every week. I think we're doing a much better job of communicating and making some plays on the back end. And they've got a lot on them. Really, schematically with what we do defensively, corner's not a very difficult position as far as just learning what to do, but safety is, and you've got to be a great communicator. And I think both guys have done a good job to this point.
What's the key to a good goal line and short yardage defense? Obviously, the big stand in the first half last.
Yeah.
What's the key to that as far as from the defensive perspective?
Well, just execution, and it's really all over the field. But the kids just were really, excited about the opportunity to keep them out of the end zone. I always tell them, anytime the ball's inside the 5, it's an opportunity for greatness. So you got an opportunity to make a stop. They executed very well in what we wanted to do. We did a good job. We had a good plan with the red zone going in, and the kids just did an outstanding job of continuing to fight.
As a coach, do you hate going up against a team that kind of got thumped the week before? I mean, do those teams kind of usually come out a little more angry?
I think every week's different. Regardless of the score of last week, doesn't really hinge to me on what's going to happen this week. I think every game's different. Everybody approached it a little differently. You may match up differently with another team as opposed to the team they've played before. And I think that every game takes its identity of its own.
What does that goal line stand mean for your team long term, and what you know about them now, and what you think that they know about themselves now?
Well, I think when you go through change, the hardest thing to gain is confidence, and I think that that's a confidence builder, regardless of who it was. It's a confidence builder. It's something that they regain confidence in what they're trying to do, and I think that's something that's easy to build off of from a positive standpoint. And I think the more and more we play, the more reps we take, the more confident we get in what we're doing, and the faster we'll play and the better we'll play.
And one of the things that Mack said, at least in the postgame, was that the defense took that allowing the touchdown against Rice personally. So you only allowed 33 points in 3 games. How do you carry that into the season wears on, and how proud are you of them knowing that each score means that much?
Well, that's our job, is to keep them out of the end zone regardless of the circumstance. We don't care if it's a turnover, if it's inside the 5-yard line. We're the firemen. We got to go put the fire out, and that's our attitude, and that's the kids' attitude, and they've bought into it, and they understand that regardless of situation, it's our job to make stops. And I think that they've adapted to that well. There's a lot of in the game of football, a lot of finger pointing, offense to defense. Places I've been in pro ball, and everybody wants to point the finger instead of pull the thumb. So I really appreciate the attitude our kids have taken to go on the field, and regardless of situation, our job is to keep them out of the end zone.
Roger, do you think the defense understands that that goal line stand like that can be as much of a momentum shift as demoralizing to the other team as, say, more publicized shifts of momentum, like a deep pass for a touchdown, a trick play that works? Oh,
absolutely. I don't think there's any question. I mean, you talk about scoring in the red zone. We talk about making them kick field goals in the red zone, and that's a huge emphasis. And we've met our goal every week as far as holding people in the red zone and being a hard team to score on down there. And that's a key to scoring defense. If you can, teams are going to move the ball some. When they get in the red zone, you got to make them kick field goals, and that's our goal when they have those opportunities. And to get a stop for them to go for it twice on 4th down and not get it is a great reflection of the kids and their effort and the passion they played with.
Is Robert McElroy a guy that really figured out what you wanted immediately and has really kind of bought into what you sold?
Rod's a guy that comes to work every day with his lunch pail. He comes with questions. He studies the game. He studies the other team. He studies what we do. He understands schematically what we're trying to do. He understands what his opponents are trying to do, and that's why he's a good player, other than the fact that God's blessed him. I mean, he's got a lot of ability, but he's doing the things off the field that make him a good player on the field. And if we can get more guys like that, then we're going to be a whole lot better off. But it's hard in college, especially, for kids to understand that focus, and he's got that focus. He's got that mentality that he understands the more he does off the field, the better off he's going to be on the field.
Does everybody kind of feed off him? Did you get that?
I think that he's been a very positive role model for our football team. I think he's a guy that people, our other linebackers see him in the meeting. Our defensive kids see him in the meeting taking notes. They see how he studies the game, and I've just been really proud of him. More than anything, his effort. I mean, he really plays hard. It's important to him to put those horns on that helmet and play. And we just got to get more on board, and we're getting there.
What do you tell your team playing Arkansas this week? A team pretty
Well, I think that it's a very balanced team. They want to run the ball. I think that obviously getting Michael Smith back after the one-game suspension to start the season, it was beneficial for them. They want to be balanced after running the ball, and they've got play actions, movement off of it. Arkansas has always been a blue-collar, work ethic, tough football team, and that's who their head coach is now today, is the same mentality. And so there's a lot of mystique about the SEC, and I think it's a great opportunity for our players. It's a national stage to go out and prove again and take another positive step forward. But it's just the next game. That's just don't get outside of that. It's the next ball game. It's against a good football team from a good conference, and it's a great opportunity for our kids to go prove what we've been doing.
Coach, how nice was it to see Lamar Houston have a good game after?
Right. Sure. Well, we want them all to play well regardless of what they do off the field, but happy to get him back out there.
Preparation-wise, you guys obviously had a week, 2 weeks ago, getting ready for Arkansas. Having played a game now since then, does it change much as far as what you're looking to do this week?
Well, they have their basic concepts in the running and passing game that aren't going to change, and then they create some things each week, and we'll see some new things. Bob does a great job. So we've adapted kind of where we are a little bit. We're able to do a little bit more every day. We feel a little older every day, so we're able to be a little more multiple, to do some different things. The more the kids are able to handle them, and more than anything, just the younger kids, and the game is slowing down for them a little bit. So we feel a little more confident as a staff of some of the things that we can do as maybe opposed to 2 weeks ago.
Coach, would you call Nick Saban and ask him about the experiences from last week and does that happen in the coaching ranks?
Sure, it happens. It happens a lot. Nick and I talk a lot, so.
I didn't expect much more than that.
Wish he had left his 2 picks, but.
Great seeing you, Coach.
All right, guys. Y'all take care.